Hey, this is Lori Kilpatrick. It's Thursday, September 12th. So I am going to take this time to try to use words, but I am very tired. So if this doesn't go up. Anyway, I am participating in a program called Freedom with Hope Church. It has been pretty amazing already. We're only on week 1. So he said something in there. It's pretty involved and it's really cool. It talks about essentially relationship versus rules, that kind of a thing. But he said something that was temptation is a test of your relationship, not your self-control. So he talked about how you can prepare yourself to not cheat. So when you see someone, you look away, you don't think about them, and you have all these things that are going to help you not fall to this side, right? That's self-control. But if you have a relationship, like he's talking about cheating on his wife, but if he has a relationship with his wife, he's using all that energy to fall in love with his wife and to stay in love with his wife. And then he doesn't look at other women because they're not his wife, and he loves his wife, And he talked about how when we know who Jesus is and we know what he's done, we can't help but love him because it's pretty cool, he's just amazing. So the thing that's been happening with me, I've had anger issues my entire life. I have a whole slew of things that I say to myself, situations I try to put myself in, is it that important? If they were dying, if this was, 20 years from now, am I even going to care about this? I mean, there's a whole lot of filters that I have that I run this situation through and try not to blow up, but I still blow up. It's not near as bad as it used to be. But I still was blowing up. And I did that NAET thing with the iron, and I was genuinely not angry for 3 days. And now I'm using lots of words. Okay, so Eric's gone a lot during the life. week. Eric's gone a lot during the week. So the sole adult responsible in this house is me. I'm just as shocked as you that everyone is still functioning. Sorry. No, that's not nice. Delete that out. Okay. So I don't know how to do that. So you're just going to have to see it. It's after 10. Anyway, but when he is home for a while there, I would just be like, I'm out, Tay, you're it. And I would go and just the kids would be in bed and he would be in bed and I would go just do whatever I wanted, which should have been sleeping because then I'm tired the next day. But I just needed a break from all of the responsibility. That's how I felt at the time. So having this anger gone, it was as if I had support and I didn't have to worry about all of the things with anger. And then 3 days later, when I got super freaking angry again, it just came out stronger than ever because I let my defenses down for 3 days because I didn't need them, and then I needed them and I didn't want to have to use them. So this little thing about temptation is about relationship, not about self-control. I have been very self-control about my anger. Well, I've been getting better and better about having self-control about my anger. But I thought, okay, so what relationship is this? And the truth is, when I just asked, where is this all coming from? None of my anger is genuine anger. None of the anger that I don't like that I have to run through all the filters is a righteous anger. None of it is. I mean, I get righteous angry. I got boys. I have a teenager. I have a 2-year-old. I have a husband. I have a dog. But I have a righteous anger, and that's different. I don't have to run that through a filter because I'm not in the wrong for that. But the other anger is not a righteous anger, and it's not a healthy anger either. I know it's okay to get angry and it's okay to have all of that stuff, but I haven't been having a very healthy anger. So I just asked, where is this coming from? And it was just suddenly so clear. So I have fear, you know, I have fear that things are true. I have fear that I'm doing it wrong. I have fear that I'm screwing up Ben. I have fear that, you know, I've already ruined things. You know, I have fear that something's going to happen with this baby. I have fear about, am I never going to see my husband on a daily basis? I have like all of these fears. So I have all of these fears, but instead of dealing with them, anger is what covers them. So then all this, oh, I love that, like the Instapot or a pressure cooker or a teapot, you know, like letting that steam release. Instead of letting that steam release, I'm covering it up with anger. And I'm allowing for anger to be the thing that comes off of all of these things instead of dealing with them. And so I have essentially a wound and a Band-Aid, and rather than deal with my wound, I've been dealing with this Band-Aid and trying to figure out what's the best way to apply it, which one's the best one to use for the different situations, and blah, 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 instead of dealing with the root cause. So I've been working on that relationship. And when I start to get angry, I try to do that take a step back thing, where you just take a step back. Where are you? What are you doing? Where are you coming from? Where do you want to go from here? And it's like, where is this starting? And it's like, oh, okay. So today, for example, there was a miscommunication, and I just totally 100% catastrophized it, because it wasn't just that there was this one mistake. It's that we've had lots and lots, one miscommunication. It's that there seems to be lots and 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 lots of miscommunications, because we're a homeschooling family. We're around each other all the time. You know, I lose my words sometimes, and we all get tired and grumpy and everything. So this isn't actually an abnormal thing, but I was scared that this is a horrible pattern that we're never going to fix. And if I stayed in that anger thing, it never would ever get fixed. So take a step back, and I'm like, okay, what I meant to say was very, very specific thing. And then Ben was like, oh, well, thank you for that. So just kidding. Anyway, yeah, so anger, not righteous. My other anger is a symptom of an underlying issue, which tends to be fear. It tends to be fear. Just fear of screwing up, fear. It tends to be fear. Most of my anger is fear that I'm doing it wrong, which then guarantees that I am. You know, it's just fear. So if I deal with my fear, then I don't get angry. And if I'm too scared to deal with my fear, then I get angry. So I'm really tired of trying to have self-control over my unrighteous anger. So instead, I'm dealing with the relationship. And I just did this class on Monday. Today's Thursday. Tuesday, I really struggled with it, but I told everyone about it. You know, like, oh, he said this great thing about how temptation has more to do with relationship than self-control. And then I changed it, because that's what he said. And then I changed it to say that, because I needed to hear it this way, was that temptation has very little to do with self-control and everything to do with relationship. Because I was working on the self-control, and I felt like I had my little checklist to go through just in case, well, that's not working, that's not working, that's not working, you know? So, yeah. I don't know, it's been life-changing. Well, I'm curious to see where it'll go from here, but I just feel so much more relaxed. And that's nice. That's nice. Because God's already been working on this in my life about how, and that's so cool too. Like, a good friend of mine, she said, I did everything I could do with the tools I had. And it was just like, so she went and she sought people to get better tools. And I'm like, that's what we need to do all the time. I am just as guilty as everyone else to sit there and make nice broad accusations about things that I don't have any control over, and get all righteously angry, or at least in my head, righteously upset about the state of the world. But the truth is that this is what I have control over. This is what I have control over. And if I want things to be different, or if I feel like I need to be doing things differently, or if I'm actually told to do things differently, then that is my choice, whether or not I am obedient, whether or not I listen and obey, which is the same thing. I don't know why I keep doing that, but anyway, yeah. temptation has little to do with or has everything to do with relationship and nothing to do with self-control, or little to do with self-control. So, yeah. You know, I don't know that anybody even watches these, and I have no idea how long I've been talking. So I'm also going to say something else. No, I'm not. We'll save that for another one. All right. I love you. You are beautiful and wonderfully made, and you were chosen to be here at this time for this purpose that only you can do. And if you don't believe me, go read the Bible, because it says so. It says so all over the place. Every single one of us is unique and individually made. We each have our own measure of faith. We each have a thing that we're strong at, and that's what we need to be doing, because we were made for a purpose. Someone posted on Facebook. This is horrible. I don't even know where I'm sharing it with you. It said that when God made the plan for us, he factored our stupidity in. Isn't that horrible? So we're going to change that. We're going to flip this so that it's more positive. But he factored in our humanity. Like, he accepted us as a whole. He knew us. He knows us. And he factored that in. So I really like that, because I often feel like I'm behind, or like that I've messed up, or that I've dropped, and I've lost things, which I probably have, but I can't go back. I don't have a time machine, but I can keep moving forward and make good choices from here on out. Anyway, you are vital, which means necessary for life. So thank you. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for all that you're trying to do. And thank you for keep learning your tools and sharing the tools that you have, or learning new tools and sharing the tools that you have. Because that, folks, is nailing life. That sounded bad. That's doing life right. Now I really wish I knew how to edit. Anyway, I love you. Have a beautiful and blessed day. Yeah. Go look in the mirror and smile the biggest, most lovely smile. Because you get to look at a beautiful and wonderful and unique person. There's not another one of in the whole wide world. Thank God.